took me 2 years to unlock my dream skills because my structure was cooked. I went month to month with no progress, and it wasn't until I invested in coaching and actually fixed my structure is when I started to see any progress. And now people like Zach, Francis and Max are unlocking those exact same skills in weeks using the exact same structure that I ran them through that I'm going to show you today. And this is what every single beginner doesn't realise. It's not because you're lazy, it's because your structure is all over the place. Most people try a couple of handstand attempts here and there, they throw dips in, they throw pull-ups in, and then just start adding weight because they have no idea what they're doing. And spend more time saving workouts on Instagram to never look at them again than actually figuring out how to structure your training properly. That's why all of your progress just feels like one lucky hit rather than actual predictable results that you can expect. When Zach came to me, he had zero idea about calisthenics. He was just doing handstand attempts in his room, throwing himself on his wall, no idea what to do at all, zero structure. And I hear beginners talk about this stuff all the time. They train so hard and they train as often as they can, and they just don't see any actual decent results because the structure's all over the place. It doesn't exist. There's no structure to the training. They just go in on Monday, oh, let's do push today. They go in on Wednesday, oh, let's do pull today. It does not make sense, and then they don't track anything. Francis was stuck on his handstand for months, and he just could not get past like the 3-4 second mark because he was just throwing random freestanding attempts out all the time. No structure, no idea of what he needed to do, no idea of where he needed to fix at all. Constantly trying to battle his training alongside his injury and his rehab and his physio. No structure whatsoever. Then Francis tripled his handstand time in literal weeks because we put him on a proper structured program with drills specific to the areas he needed to work on. Zach was the exact same. Do a pike push-up, try a pull-up, try a handstand. No idea, constantly falling over and throwing himself at the wall. The man had no structure, he didn't know what to do. And Max, he'd been weightlifting for years and he had no idea how to structure proper calisthenics training and how to go from A to B, from no handstand to even trying a handstand. How to get from pull-up to muscle-up. He didn't know how to do any of these things. Put him on a structured plan, within the first week he gets his muscle up. And these aren't motivation problems, it's just structure problems being disguised as lack of effort. So you might be wondering, okay, how do I fix this? Starts off with the exact same thing that I use for every single client, and that's a strength test week. Instead of guessing, you want to find out exactly where your strength level lies so you can understand where to improve and how to improve that. Your pushing strength, your pulling strength, your core stability, and your handstand foundations, because this bleeds into every single aspect of your calisthenics journey. This gives you a clear map of your actual ability, not where you think you're at, so you don't waste time doing pointless workouts all over the place. Then from here you can build real structure, not just random workouts and saved workouts from Instagram. You'll actually find a progression that works better for you. Now we know your foundational calisthenics strength baseline, we can start structuring your training properly. And after the strength week, this takes less than a day to actually sort and structure properly when you know what you're doing. And what happens when people actually follow a structured program? Results happen rapid. Zach went from absolutely no handstand experience whatsoever to a 14-second freestanding hold in less than 10 weeks. And Zach went from his first ever attempt at a banded muscle up to a no band muscle up in 9 weeks. Ludicrous, mate. Francis went from hating handstands and being stuck on the wall permanently to a 12-second freestanding handstand and a crow press after one call. What is that? And Max, coming from a traditional weightlifting background and no calisthenics experience whatsoever, in his first week of structured training after his strength test, he got his first muscle up, and then a few weeks later hit a 10-second handstand. They didn't train harder, they just trained in the right order. They actually probably trained a little bit easier, to be fair. But structure isn't just the plan that you're following, it's the corrections along the way to speed run your progress. So I check in every week with every single client I work with and make sure all of the technique is staying on par. And you can do this by filming your own videos and making sure that you know what you're doing. Every session you should be filming all of your training and reviewing it every week. You need to break down technique, adjust your progressions, and prevent any bad habits from forming, or it'll be a nightmare in the long run. This is exactly what I did for Max, Francis, Zach, and every single client I currently work with. That's why they never plateau, they never lose progress over the holidays, and the rest days are the hardest part because it just becomes so fun. And this is what every single person gets wrong. It's not about being the strongest or looking the biggest. It's the person who structures the training correctly and makes the fastest progress. And it doesn't stop there, because if your structure is boring, you're never going to stick to it. The best diet is the one you can stick to, and the same applies for any form of training. Structure reduces the mental load, it makes your progress easily trackable, and actually makes training addictive. That's what I'm saying. The rest days are the hardest part. This is because you can see yourself improving every week, not just an extra second on your handstand 10 weeks from now. If you're struggling with structure, spamming pike push-ups, or just saving videos on Instagram that you're never actually looking at, drop me a message on Instagram or book a free call down in the description below. Figure out exactly where your training's going wrong, why everything feels stagnant, how you can cut out the months of trial and error that I went through by just simply implementing structure correctly. I never thought I'd be able to bent arm press the handstand, and it took me 2 years to get to. Doesn't need to take you that long. And if you just take the concept of structure from this video, apply it to your training, and see ludicrous results, please message me, because I'd love to hear how you get on. But more people skipping the boring part of calisthenics, getting to the moves they enjoy ASAP and inspiring everyone else. Thanks for watching this video, appreciate you. Subscribe if you want to see more, follow me on all the socials down in the description, or just Witty Cali on pretty much everything. Appreciate you.